Anna and I probably believe the most together. We realized last week that we
Yeah.
believe students can lead. That is a hashtag I use all the time. You
Yeah.
just have to give them the opportunity. So we are going to, we're going to introduce ourselves, but I'm going to let Anna go first. So
Oh my
Anna,
gosh.
you're up.
Okay. Okay. So I just want to introduce myself really briefly. I'm my expert, my trainer, and also I'm a huge fan of storytelling. And okay, and Wakelet ambassador. I like this platform a lot, and I use it a lot. I'm going to share with my way of collaborations with students and my peers as well. And I'm student voice ambassador on Flipgrid. So these are my favorite platforms that I like to shout aloud. And it's pretty much that's it. I think I want to give a word to Tisha. She's so incredible. So Tisha.
So thank you, Anna. I love you. I am so thankful to get to work with you on this little project and share with all of our friends joining us. Loretta from North Carolina, we're excited you're here. I'm Tisha Poncio, a digital learning specialist in Texas. This is my 20th year. I just finished up my 20th year of teaching. I have taught all sorts of things. I've taught webmastering, programming. I've done yearbook. I've taught English. I've taught oh my goodness, so broadcasting, so many things in those 20 years. But if you joined us this morning, you know that my passion and the honor of my entire career has been teaching student leaders and working with SWAT and empowering them to be incredible leaders.
Amazing.
So we love Wakelet at my school, and we share that often. And it's really just empowering those students to take charge of their learning. And I believe that Anna and I today are going to show you some ways to do that, to give those learners the power to really take charge and create more than complete.
Yes.
We want our students to be creating things more than they are completing things. And so we're going to share that with you. So I'm actually going to get started. I'm going to share my screen. And what we want to do with you, before we really get into all of our collaboration examples, we want to show you exactly what collaboration is in Wakelet. And so I'm going to share my screen. And I want to share this collection. Now, I really just about 5 or 10 minutes ago put together this collection, and it is just because this is a current event happening right now where I am, and many of the social media accounts that I follow have they've decided to do Blackout Tuesday, where they are not talking about anything on social media. They're being silent and they're listening and finding resources. Yes. So because that is something that I really, really want to support, and I wanted to bring that into our session, I threw together this collection in Wakelet very quickly. And I want to just make sure that our attendees understand the difference. So collaborating is going to mean that you are actually taking part in creating the Wakelet collection, as opposed to clicking on the share button and just sharing. So you're copying that link, and then maybe you just want to share that with a friend. Okay. Maybe you just want to share the links that you've collected with your students. That is how you would use the share button. So you're just sharing, and all the other person on the other side is doing is viewing it and maybe clicking the links. To collaborate in Wakelet, you would not use the share button necessarily. You see, I can't do anything here because I've just shared it. I can only save it or share it out to other people. But if I click the contributor button, now I have the power to share and invite people to actually engage with my collection. And that's really what Anna and I are going to focus on today. So you can copy that link, or you can use the QR code, or you can send them the code. And Anna is going to show you a little bit later how to copy your links and share them into your learning management system like Google Classroom or Canvas. And what happens when you copy this link, okay, this is the contributor link, you'll notice that your window will look different. So I'm going to show you what that looks like in a new window. This is the contributor link. And this is how we want our students to really take part in engaging in that learning. We want them to add to those collections. We want them to create something and add their creation to our collections that we've created for them. So you'll notice it automatically will ask me my name. And so your students, I always recommend that for students, especially those students under 13, that they are not putting their first and last name. You could have them put their initials, and then they are going to click add. And once that collection loads, they will have an edit button. And I want you to see that edit button here, so that we can just make sure you guys out there know the difference. So right here, it will prompt your students to edit the collection. And when they click edit, they have the ability now to go add their own resources to this collection. And that is really where Anna and I are going to be speaking from today. So I want you to see that piece. When I click the add artifact.
Sorry. So Tisha, are you showing the picture with the QR code?
So right here, can you see my screen, Anna? Yes?
Yeah, I can see it, but people are writing about that they can't see it.
So over here, can you see this collaboration, this contributor window?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure this is the code I used, the contributor code. You can use the code here, or you can use the QR code. Any of those 3 ways to share with your students. So that is what I'm looking at right now.
Awesome.
Now, Anna, just let me know. Can you see the create collection button with me?
Create collection button. You mean the QR code, picture with the QR code? Yeah.
So, okay, hold on. Let me back out of that for a minute.
Okay.
Let me see what I can do.
No, I can see it.
You can't see it. Okay. That's what I need. I'm having a little bit of difficulty showing that. Let's see what happens when I put it over here. Now you can see it, right?
Yeah, we can see it now.
Okay.
Wait a bit. It's downloading.
We'll see. Now I'm logged in, so this is really the catch on this. I'm logged into my account on Wakelet, and so when I go here, I will hit edit collection, right? So that's what your students will do. It will prompt them to edit the collection, and you'll click edit. And then they will scroll down until they see the plus sign, and that is when they're going to engage with the collection you've created. Now, I need to note this for our attendees because we're going to talk about sub-collections a lot, but we have a resource to show you how to do that. When your students who are not logged into their Wakelet accounts, okay, so I'm going to repeat that. When your students are going to your collection and they are adding artifacts, any of these artifacts here, they are not going to be logged into a personal account. And you'll notice right here, I'm missing a button that's create collection. Can you see that, Anna? I just want to make sure.
I can see it.
So right here, when your students go in, they will create a sub collection if you want them to, and that is an option also. And we're going to be talking about that piece. I don't want you guys to worry if you aren't sure how to create the sub collections yet, because at the very, very end of our session, Anna and I are going to share resources with you, and we have ensured that we've put a video in there that shows you how to create sub collections with your students. So I just wanted to go over the difference with each of you. Now, do we have any questions about the share button and the contributor button? Anna?
I don't think there was any questions. Okay. There was just a little bit of confusion with not being able to see the incognito window.
Yes. So sorry. That is my bad.
Maybe, should I try and share my screen just to show that real quick, how that might work?
Sure.
Yeah. Because I think I'm actually signed out, I think, of my Wakelet account.
And that's really the, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. Could you share the link of that, the invite code to that collection?
Yes, I will.
And actually, I can go.
If I share that link, so I'm going to share the contributor code. I'm actually going to put it in the chat. Is that okay, Callum?
Yeah, it works. Yeah.
Okay. So all of the attendees now should be able to see what I'm talking about. If you're logged into the account, you won't see sub collections.
Yeah.
If you are, okay, there we go.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can.
Yep. So as Tisha was talking about then, she shared a collaborative link to a student. And the reason why she couldn't show that was because she was going into an incognito just to show how a student would access that collection as a signed out user. I'm actually signed out of Wakelet here, but if I just go to that collaborative link that Tisha has shared, what she was going to show was the ability to join the collection, and then it will come up with an option to type your name there. So once this loads, it come up with an option to type your name. So like Tisha said, your students can put whatever they want in there. Maybe if they're under the age of 13, you wouldn't necessarily put sort of their full name. But just here, I'm going to type in Callum and hit add. It will then take me through to the collection. Again, Tisha mentioned before, my connection isn't the best, so apologies for it loading a little bit slow. But yeah, it takes me through to the collection here. I will be able to view the content that's in Tisha's collection. Then as you can see at the top, there's an edit collection button. And now if I actually want to add my own stuff, whether I'm a colleague or a student, I can just hit edit, and then I can add my own thing in there. Should I just add a placeholder link just so people can see what that looks like?
That's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted you to showcase. Yes.
Yep.
Create collection features here. Okay.
Yep. And there we go. So my link has just gone in there. So should I stop sharing so you can show them what that looks like?
Sure.
Yep. There you go.
Okay. So now when I share my screen, I'm going back to that same collection that Callum added his artifact to. So the Google link. And now as the teacher, you should see the additions to that collection.
As a sub collection over there. Yay. It's my favorite part, actually. Every time when I check my collections, I can see the sub collections of my students.
There we go. So people are already adding to it, which is exactly what I wanted to happen. Thank you.
It's magic. Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
So Anna and I, a lot of what we're going to talk about today is going to revolve around collaborating with your students, collaborating with your colleagues, even collaborating with parents or the community. And so we just wanted to make sure that you understood the difference between sharing a collection for your users, your learners to view it only, and then the difference in collaborating and having them, giving them the access to create. Okay, Anna, you're taking it away.
Wow, thank you. Thanks a lot. I'm just starting to demonstrate my screen straight away. But actually talking about Wakelet, I think it's an amazing platform that can help you to have everything in one place. This is so true. And I'm not even talking about the extension feature there. It's incredible. So everything is super handy and easy to share or add or create. So here we go. We start with my homepage. And over there, you can see that I've got lots of collections, and so good so far. It can be even more organized soon with the Spaces feature that was announced yesterday. I'm so excited about this one. Okay, so good so far. Here on Wakelet, I've got different types of collections, can be public ones, listed, or private ones. But I usually use them I create lessons. I plan lessons. I even create some kind of packs. I call them packs because with these packs, I share with the parents or with the learners, young learners. And it depends on their abilities to use with the platform. So their parents can guide them. It's like the pack with lots of additional great resources that can be stick to the course, like songs and different kind of chants. And kids, they can use it, as I mentioned, as additional part that we use for our course and etc. So parents are really happy to get this pack. I don't know why, but actually I know why, because it's incredible. They can share with the kids, they can turn it on, or it's always about engagement and positivity in our classroom and even beyond the classroom. Okay, anyway, I just want to say that I was really inspired with the idea to create portfolios of my students, and it's really incredible. Just want to demonstrate one portfolio of my one of my best students, Arina Hi, if you will watch me. Anyway, she's incredible. So she learns 2 languages, and she's got a great collections. So we are in a row for maybe 5 years together. So we've got lots of mystery Skypes. We had scientists in our classroom. So she took a part in many great projects and Shoots and Roots with Jane Goodall and etc. So this is a tremendous collection. And also it's a little bit about smashing, but I'm going to talk about it a bit later too. Fully Brit mixtape collection of your amazing voice that she shared for about maybe 40 topics. And all of this you can share with the parents as well as at the end of the year gift. I call this gift because they're so happy and inspired to see how well their kids work on the course, and it's amazing. I just saw their faces and it's awesome. It's fantastic. Okay, talking about collaboration, there are 2 ways that I usually use Wakelet, prefer to collaborate in Wakelet. With my peers and colleagues, especially during these remote learning days. We had so many resources and platforms that just bumped on our heads, and we are tab lovers because every educator has got lots of tabs in our browser. Tish, I know you've got lots of too. You demonstrated this one. So, and I just want to say we all of us, we really worry about to lose something good, yet to lose the good website with cool tools that activities that we can use with our students. So Wakelet, this is a perfect place to put it into, like to create a bank. So this bank, many educators during these days and before, they preferred Wakelet for creating this kind of sharing banks, or even they started like the bank for themselves. But I really appreciate all of my contributors, all of my colleagues. I'm going to demonstrate you the names here who shared with their amazing collections over there in mine, as well as I'm planning to share with it, or I've already shared. So it's about sharing, as Tisha mentioned, and this is so fantastic, incredible feeling. You feel the support of your colleagues. You can see there are so many great activities and platforms that I don't want to lose, or I want it to be saved, or I want to share straight away. As you see, when you press the contributors button, you can see manage contributors. We've got Natalia, Ola, Valerie, Helen. Hi, by the way, I know you're here, Nadia, and everybody. I know these people, they're really amazing. They like to share. So I really appreciate this. This is amazing feeling when you can collaborate with your colleagues and you can create something special and meaningful. Anyway, we are talking about the second way of collaboration. Wakelet. This is my favorite one. You can collaborate with students. And okay, let's move back to the homepage where I want to say that we've got a lot of projects. You know that I'm a fan of project-based learning activities and storytelling. So this is the perfect way to create collection, but sometimes I need to use the search collection feature here to find all of the projects. So it's really not a good time saver for me personally. Yeah. But I've discovered that Google Classroom, this is such a perfect place to put all of your collections as an assignments for your students, so you can curate them. And this is like, it works really well because I really think that it's a great time saver now. So what can you do? As Tisha mentioned, there is a difference between share feature and contributors one. So when you press the share feature, you can just share with the collection into straight away into the Google Classroom, but your students can't be contributors there. So it's better to use this function, just copy the link and create new assignment for your students. And it looks like this. So you use the description of the assignment over there, step-by-step instruction. And after that, you just add the link as a contributor one here. And then you invite your students to be a part of this course. You can see how many students confirm that they have made their collection there and how many haven't. And so there is a big deal. So you can see to whom you should ask why you haven't made it yet, and to whom you shouldn't like disturb them about this because they've done and everything is perfect from their side. So there's the list, and I've just separated them into different topics, like the Wakelet Student Ambassador Program, which is absolutely terrific one, thanks to Tisha, because I've used all of her great ideas, like all the tasks, and their badges, this is really inspiring. My students inspired about that, and certificates. And we started with the task 1, and this is all about me. You see that I've got 3 people who have already made their collections, and it looks fantastic. Can I demonstrate this one? I'm sorry, I just want to share with it because it's really incredible. You never know about the whole story about your students while they are not sharing yet. Yeah, so we just need to start. We started with this one. I used all of the step-by-step description, and then I like this one. I just want to share this collection of my student, and I'm inspired. They're inspired. They are really, they feel themselves empowered. They started to make these beautiful collections. I didn't know that she's such a great artist. And she shared with this, oh my gosh, it's something incredible. It's really personal. And so that's how they express themselves, especially with sub-collection feature. This is absolutely terrific one. Okay, here we go. I just want to close this one and tell you that everything is listed here. And also, you can get a notification on your Gmail, for example, that the certain student has made a collection. So you can curate it, everything, and it's awesome. Here, there's like a kind of grid where you can see, and everything is pretty neat and organized. So I can see that Daria, she hasn't made 2 collections yet, even 3 ones. So I'm going to ask her about what is the problem. Maybe she needs some support or anything else. Okay, anyway, but talking about them, I'm sorry, I just stopped the demonstration. Let's move back to my screen. Oh my gosh, where have I been?
There you are. You're back.
Oh my God, can you hear me? Can you see
hear
me?
you. I can hear you.
What
we can hear you.
happening?
See if you can reshare. I don't know. Something crazy happened.
Sure. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for this kind of disconvenience, but please let me start sharing again. Whoa, what was that? Here we go. I just want to be really careful with this tab. Yeah, so we've got the list with the assignments, and I always give my students opportunity to choose from, if we've got a selection, of course, from which collection would you like to start. And you know that they always tell me, like most of them, they always tell me fun facts about famous people or talking about food. Of course, these are their favorites. So let me start with fun facts about famous people. And here it has been already open. Like it looks like this. There is a description again, and everywhere, as you see, there is immersive reader symbol. So I'm going to mention it a little bit later in the next upcoming collection. So here they needed to create a collection about favorite singers, actor. It doesn't matter about whom, because one of my students, she created a collection, sub-collection. You see that most of them are sub-collections. They're so inspired about this feature because they can create a collection of their own, being in my collection. This is something personal and about individual way of learning. So here we go. Isaac Newton, really, Dasha, she really like surprised me a lot, but I really appreciate her efforts because she's amazing student. I love my students a lot. And here we go. Just want to demonstrate how it looks like. It looks like storytelling. I didn't have an idea about The Weeknd, but now I strongly believe he's a great singer. I loved his sweet voice because Nastya, she's my student. Nastya, hi to you too. So she just used as a bookmark this YouTube video, and we listened straight on the lesson this song. It is fantastic. I suggest you to listen to the singer share his incredible ones. So they inspire me, they expand my knowledge about this word as well. So let me close this one, and one more that I want to demonstrate. I know that one of my students, Lyra, this is her collection. She's a huge fan of BTS. You know, it's like a wave, and she wants to go to Korea. She's really crazy about them, and she expressed herself this way. But the pictures are amazing ones. Yeah, she's a huge fan. She even has she takes part in some kind of chats about with that. Oh my gosh, it's really complicated. And so moving to another collection. This is something about our region. Our region is pretty unique. You know, we've got 9 months of winter, and we often a part of different cultural or mystery sky projects and sessions. We people wants to know sometimes they want to know about our region more. So I decided, why don't we create the great collection, and then we can share, because Wakelet is so easy to share. And my students, they created, again, some of them use the feature like sub collection. I just want to demonstrate this one. This is so beautiful. You know that we've got the Northern Lights, and we've got this houses, we call them chums, and this is our original people who live there, and the Stella. So I like this collection a lot because she chose not the whole Yamal Peninsula region. She chosen our town. It's pretty small. We don't have many things to see, but she chosen these incredible features and these incredible tourist attractions, if I may call so. But it's incredible. Yeah, we live in the north at the edge of the earth, and this collection is my favorite. Of course, you see some of them, again, sub collection. Here's my own video where when I took a ride on reindeer. It was really unusual way to spend with your family, but it's something new. It's like experience I shared with the world. My students, they do the same. Let's move to another collection. It's about Russian culture, and it's pretty useful and practical as well. So a short description here, because my students, they know how to act here. We usually have, as I mentioned, culture exchange projects, and it's so easy to share with your collection with another classroom, or as a post Skype session activity, or etc. You can just share with it, and the students from another classroom, they can dive deeper into the culture of your country if they want to. And there are so many features, and again, sub collections. You see, I've only told them about this update, and they started to use it straight away. Okay, I need to press done button here, because otherwise I can't open any collections here in Wakelet. So Russian painting, let's have a look at this, because this is amazing. This is something that we can be proud of. Portrait of a known woman. You see that this is one of I discovered after the storytelling collections on Wakelet that my students are so talented, and all of them, like, they're great artists or what. It's incredible. They're experts in paintings, and everything looks so beautiful, and it looks like storytelling, you see. Okay, let me go a little bit out of here, just close this one. To demonstrate more, of course, we've got lots of features here in Russian culture of Russia. And if you want to have a project like letter exchange or box exchange project, you can use this collection as well. You can stick the QR code to the parcel or anywhere else. You can share it like at any. It's so easy, really. You can. I'm going to mention the app smashing thing, but I always use this opportunity to share with Wakelet collection and Flipgrid, and every topic that depends to our country, culture, cuisine of Russian cuisine, etc. So here we go. Okay, I just want to show the Kokhlama. Maybe some of you've heard this Matryoshka doll. Of course, everybody knows about Matryoshka, but it looks so great. They try to use the text, and everywhere you can see there's immersive reader symbol again. So we are pretty soon going to talk about it. It's going to be like a showcase here. Yeah, so the history of the USSR and Russia, thanks a lot to Kylie Kingdom, a great and like terrific educator from Australia. She sparked this project. She just asked me, Anna, would you like to share about some kind of periods of Russian history? And I've listed all of them over here. And I said, yes, why no? I'm not a history teacher at all, but I really love history at school. And I think everybody should know about the history of his or her country. And I don't know, but it's like tendency, not a really good one, that children nowadays, our students, they're not really well with knowing of history of their countries. It's only here in Russia, but and I'm an English teacher. I try to provide them this practice, this vocabulary expand. Think of this certain historical words, definitions, and that's how they know more about, they knew more about the history of their country. It's like magic. Everything works when they work on the project. It's incredible. And here we go. We've got, as I mentioned, immersive reader over there in the description area. Also, we've got immersive reader here when there's a text area, but I just want to demonstrate over there. So if you press this button, I hope everything is going to work really well there. I don't know why, but many educators, they don't pay attention to this feature there, but I think this is a terrific one. When I've known about immersive reader, I was so inspired. I even cried because I watched the video with a family, with a child with dyslexia, and it's all about immersive reader. Actually, it is translated in more than 60 languages. Can you hear the number? And also there's a read out aloud feature that is in 43, I'm not sure, but around 45 languages. Oh my God, it's super visual, easy to use. It's absolutely for free, and it's easy, really easy, because you can give a short instruction to your students. They can use it at home as well if they got really difficulties with reading. And I just want, it was made to improve reading skills and writing as well. And I just want to demonstrate without too much talking about the theory. Yeah, let's move to this part where you can focus on the lines if you use this feature. It helps because the concentration nowadays, even with the students who don't have any kind of disabilities or troubles with reading, it's not perfect one. Okay, it may help. You can turn it off. It's really easy. You can use the dictionary visual one. This is awesome with kids with dyslexia because they can't read it very well, but they can see it. The visual part is really powerful one, and it can be translated in any, as I said, of more than 60 languages. We can use the Russian, for example, and it's over there, and the text can be translated only like separate word. Yeah, you can see it like project. You can see the picture. You can listen to it if you got like troubles, with anything dealing with reading. You can. Yeah, I just want to show that you can hear the sound. Let me fix it. You can listen in Russian, in English, and they can see the picture. So you see, I think it's amazing tool. And let's move here to the features. Yeah, the whole text can be translated, and sometimes at school, at our local schools, teachers provide really stupid activities. Translate the whole text. They don't need to translate the whole text. They need to translate only the separate words, the keywords. We call it the keywords in normal world, as we may say. But they can just translate the separate words, and it's amazing, especially if you teach, if you're a teacher of different languages. And it's not only, even when we go to this part, there is it can be separated into syllables. It looks like this. It's okay, and it's really amazing for primary learners when they only started to learn, when they start to learn how to read. It's tremendous. So it can be highlighted in different parts of speech. It's written in Russian, but I may just read it out loud. These are nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, and etc. subclauses, and you know, we've got a great activity. I use the projector. You may use interactive boards. It's not a big deal, but I use the whole text, and I ask my students to use different markers when we talk about the parts of speech, when we try to learn them, when we try to fix the order in English. It's very important. So they try to underline and just to write the parts of speech. And after that, we are checking by only clicking this these steps, and here we go, we can check it easily. You can even use this feature, and it's going to be written above, like nouns or adjectives and etc. You can turn it off. But the best part that my students are really inspired of, it's about they can fix the size of the text, the fonts, and the comic. You know, there's a better one for primary learners. And you know, here when I made this showcase for my students, I show them the color feature. And everybody said that this is the best one. You know, I know that in psychology, it's like sometimes we can ask about the colors, we can get the mood of the person, a certain person, yeah. But here we go, and there's a huge selection of the colors. And when I use the tab, and it's like roll up, and my students say, "Wow, I want to have this one, yellow, blue," and everybody has different preferences here. There's so many excitements, and I really adore this feature. So here we go. We can move out to here, but I haven't mentioned that there is a read out aloud feature.
Project. Thanks to Kylie.
It works like this. Also, there are like settings of the voice. It can be female or male, and the speed of this. So you can curate this. But actually, each student can curate it in his or her individual way. It depends, and this is fantastic. It's all about inclusive learning, accessibility. That's what I'm really inspired and talk a lot. But I know that we don't have like super much time here. Here how it looks like. This was a project. So Kylie sparked this project, and it's amazing. Of course, we've got Flipgrid bookmark here because my students shared and showed. But I want to demonstrate that one of my students, Tanya, she made this amazing presentation about her granddad, who took a part in WW2, and this was the best moment in our project because both of the classroom were like, whoa, this is something personal and incredible one. You see, but he didn't like to mention his experience during the war in his family, but everybody knew that he's a hero. He has got lots of medals and etc. So another terrific project, it's about with Norika. Hi, she's an amazing teacher from Japan, and we had this actually first it was like letter or postcard exchange project, but it turned out into box exchange project. There were lots of souvenirs from Russia, from Japan, and we had after that another project sparked, like the classroom from Japan, they started to share with amazing facts about Russia, and my students, they started to share with amazing facts about Japan. So it was really incredible. I just want to demonstrate this collection. It's an amazing one. Yay. So then I want to mention, I guess, the last one. It's about, it's one of our favorite one, Russian food. So here we go. And talking about Russian food, we were sparked by Anna Josh. She is a great teacher from India. I love her a lot. And she said, Anya, why don't you share with your students with best recipes of Russian cuisine, right, from Russian food that your students really enjoy. So first we started to be a part of the Flipgrid topic about recipes. And then my students started to create this amazing, you see, collections, sub-collections over there. I want to demonstrate you only one here, traditional food in Russia. And every of these collection is pretty beautiful because there's so many delicious things over there with the recipes, with the descriptions. You see, it's like storytelling, but with great visual part, and text. Oh my gosh, I love this one. So let me move out of here and let's go to this part. How it works with the app smashing thing. You see that I can use a bookmark. The link to the Flipgrid topic, as well as we can share with any classroom with our beautiful collection over there. So we aren't Flipgrid, but our collection is here, and everybody can press on it and go and look through it and know more about Russian food. And I think this is amazing. App smashing is great. Okay, I think that's it from my side. I took lots of time. I know, I'm so sorry about that. And so I like Wakelet for the ability to curate every little thing, and that is really easy to share. Thanks a lot for this opportunity to share across the world. So that's all, Tisha. The word goes to you now. Thank you.
Thanks, Anna. That was great. I loved your food collection the most. I love all of the different foods. Hey, I hope Callum is still on here. Callum, we were going to take a little break and see if there were any questions that Anna maybe could address. I know for one thing, Anna, people want your Wakelet profile link, I believe. And then they also want you to cover I believe how you have the students introduce themselves again. I saw those two things, maybe.
Well, can you say that again?
There was a question about how the students introduce themselves. I'm not sure. Maybe whoever asked that question can pop that back in the chat so we can see. But
how their students introduce themselves, again, dealing with what?
I'm not sure. Let's see if we can get some clarification, and then Callum can help us. Callum, do we have anything that we need to cover before I take over?
I don't think so. There was a few questions about how to create a sub collection. Maybe I could show on my screen again just how that works.
Yes.
I know that you guys couldn't show it. Okay, let me share my screen real quick. I know we're out of time, so I'll run through this really quickly. Can you see my screen?
James says it's okay if we go a little bit over.
Okay, cool. I can speak a little bit slower then. Okay. So can you see my screen then?
Yeah.
Now?
Yeah.
So this is the collection that I joined before when I added a link. You can see lots more items have been added since I added it at the beginning of the session, it looks like. So as you can see here, when I click the plus button, all of the examples that Anna showed there, a lot of them had sub-collections in. So that is when students join the collaborative collection and they can actually create their own collection within that collection, if that makes sense. But as you can see here, that option is under, when you click the plus, there's a create a collection option. And when I hit that, I just quickly add a cover image here. So I'll just add these ones real quick, just in the top, and I'll put test and hit create. But that just allows me to add the collection in there. And then as a student, I can just hit edit. I'll be taken to a new tab where I actually build that collection now. My internet's been a little bit slow, so it's not working there. But if I hit edit there, that'll take me straight through to the collection for me to actually build that collection. And then once I hit done, that collection will be straight in there. So a lot of Anna's examples had that sort of workflow where a student would join as a guest, create their own collection on a particular topic. Then all the students can see each other's work. And just one more thing just to cover as well. On the current features that we have on collaboration, if you join as a contributor or a guest to the collection, you can only edit and delete the items that you have added. So you don't have to worry about students joining the collection and maybe deleting the work that you've added in there or any other students' work. But we do have some new features coming out pretty soon that will allow you to enable different settings. So if you're collaborating as a group, rather than just being able to sort of only edit and delete your own items, you can actually edit and delete others. So that's, like working with groups and building collections together. So yeah, hopefully that's just covered really quickly sub collections.
Okay, I see Pam asked a question. She wanted to see, it's the task 1 for student ambassadors. She wanted to see how the kids introduce themselves. I can show you that if we have time. I'll also share, Callum, if you can share my Wakelet profile Pam, you can go to my Wakelet profile and see a collection that we shared this morning of all of the ambassador collections and tasks. And it shows how they've created their collections to introduce themselves. Hopefully that will help just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And because Callum just shared the, can you guys see my screen? Yes, Anna. Is everybody there?
Yep, I can see it.
Yeah. I just showing. Yeah.
No, you're good. You're good. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and show a different example. I was not going to start with this example, but because Callum showed you how to do the sub collections, I wanted to show you an example that my student shared this morning. So we have a podcast that actually was born out of the isolation and remote learning environment that we were thrown into. So we created our podcast, we recorded our podcast, and we've been using Wakelet to create sub collections for each episode. So you can see that this episode 1, I added that sub collection. I put my name on it, and I actually created the entire collection here, right? It says it's created by me. And then I went into my incognito window and use that collaborator link so that it would think I was a student. And I added all of the artifacts here. That was me practicing. Now my students have taken over. So Wyatt, I shared the contributor link with him. So I copied this link and sent it to Wyatt. And he went in and edited a sub collection for episode 2. And so he went and added all of the links that you're about to see as it loads. And this is a really, really great way to give your students the responsibility to give them ownership of the collection. And so you can see as this loads, hopefully it will, that he has added all of the things that we talked about on our podcast of episode 2. He uploaded a SWAT leader evaluation document so that teachers and listeners could see that. He has our links to our podcast and links to specific things that we discuss here. So that's one way that I use it for collaboration and really try to encourage my students to have ownership. And that is with sub collections. And it looks different than a normal collection, right? Because in a normal collection, you see the mood board, you see, different various views that you can change up. And I just know this is a collection and a sub collection. And this is where we've moved to. I will tell all of you that are on this session with, I've moved my students over into the sub collection environment because it works so well. I also use Wakelet to collaborate, and this is an example of using an essential question. You could do it with pre-assessments. You could do it with a pre-discussion of your lesson. And so I created this collection called How Do You Promote Digital Citizenship? I use this in presentations. I use it with teachers. I use it with students. And you can see that people have gone in, and I've just shared that contributor link again. So I'm going to show you again where that is. I've copied this link, or I can put the QR code in for the littles. And this is how they are going in to edit and add their different options. So I believe the goal here was they had to do a 6-word story to explain digital citizenship. And Jill Jones added everything can be seen and shared, which I think is a great story on digital citizenship. Somebody went in and just added an image. And so it really gives your learner, whether it is an adult learner or a little learner, ownership of that collection, which is really ultimately what the collaboration piece is about. I have also used this with teachers. So this is an example of a portfolio that I created for my teachers. And as a digital learning coach, I challenge my teachers to take a risk or a goal every year. You can see that I created this in the fall of 2019 without knowing that in the spring of 2020, every one of my teachers and students would be forced to take a risk using technology and integrating with it. So my teachers have gone on and they have added different things. I've given them a little bit of instruction here. Okay, so we talk about SAMR and SMART goals. But as I scroll through, you can see that my teachers have added how they're using technology in their classrooms. Some of them are just adding screenshots of their Google Classroom assignments to show what they're doing with their students. And you can see my friend Ellen here has added a couple of artifacts. Miss Keepers, my science teacher, she has taken a screenshot of a worksheet that she was using. We have some interactive options that she's also added. My teachers love to use Google Forms as exit tickets. Now, what I want to tell you about this collection, I didn't know that we would have to be a virtual conference this summer, which is how everybody is going. But I use this digital portfolio as a way to empower my teachers to present for our virtual summer conference. And I went straight to this collaborative collection and I saw the things that they were doing because, like Anna said, it's all about telling a story, and our teachers have to tell stories too. You all are doing great things in the classroom, but sometimes people aren't seeing it. And this is a great way to showcase the greatness that you are doing with your students. So let's move on. This is an example of my students' portfolios. So every spring I have them create a resume and a digital portfolio. And I decided this year during remote learning to house all of their artifacts into Wakelet. So they all submitted their resumes and portfolio as a sub collection. I can see what date they actually added their sub collection. That helps me for grading purposes because if it was due on a particular day, I can see if they submitted it on time or not. It was very, very easy for me to click on these students' sub collections. If you were with me this morning, I talked briefly about this, but this was easy for me as a teacher. As a digital coach, I'm helping so many teachers and so many administrators, but I'm also teaching a class of students. And so I could go to Julie's sub collection and I could grade her Wakelet digital portfolio. And I could grade her resume, and I could do that very quickly and then enter my grades into the grade book. So that is another way that I'm having students collaborate. They also were assigned to look at each other's portfolio and resume so that we could pull in peer editing. And I really like for them to get feedback and learn how to give solid, good feedback. So that is one of the ways that I'm using that as well. Speaking of feedback, I make my students reflect on their podcast. And so I have an assignment for them in Wakelet called Podcast Reflections. I want all of you to know that I put this in Wakelet and then I click the share button. And what I do, because I use Google Classroom, is I can click the Google Classroom button and it automatically will take it into Google Classroom and allow me to choose my class and allow me to assign that to students. So that is one way that I am using Wakelet, and they are going in, adding their feedback, and then we can talk about it. So again, it's about giving the student the ownership. This is a fun example of using a collaborative collection, and this is one of my favorite examples, so I love sharing this with all of you. I did this with my teachers, but what I want you to know is you can do this with your students as well. So I called it Playlist. And I asked them if they only had one song that they could have played every time they entered a room for the rest of their life, what song would they choose? Now, the goal during remote learning was to get my teachers to really do some team building and really learn about each other. And so I gave them the collaboration link and I tell them exactly how to sign in. And I asked them to go to YouTube and add their songs. And that is what you see here. Now, one of the great things about this YouTube collection being in Wakelet is when I click on the song and it opens, let me see. Let's see if they did it right. That one's not working the way I want it to. What essentially should happen is it should open in the Wakelet. I may have given them the wrong instructions, Anna, which would not be wrong. See, it's going directly to Wakelet. Essentially, they could copy and paste these links. So if I hit edit, I had not planned on sharing this, but I want to show all of our attendees so that they understand. You can click on the plus sign just like Callum did. And instead of adding a URL or adding a collection, you can add the YouTube okay, straight from YouTube, and then your students are not going to YouTube, which is always going to be the goal for that student audience. So you would just paste the link here and add it. So I want you guys to understand that as well. What else do I have, Anna? Okay, I have this digital citizenship lesson, Anna. I did not have this created before yesterday, but I created especially for all of you because I want you to see that as a teacher, you don't necessarily have to have them collaborating in the very beginning. You can just start with a very self-paced lesson. This one specifically is digital citizenship for grades 9 through 12. You could alter this for any grade level. I give them the goals and the objectives up front. And then I have certain sections. So I've just used the text feature and I am just using like the header. I think it's H1 to make this a little bit bigger. I ask them these questions. How do you define digital citizenship and how are you promoting it? Much like my essential question in the very beginning. And then I have them go to Flipgrid and record their answer. Then I have them watch some videos so that they can be engaging with watching things like they do on TikTok and Snapchat. And then I want them to reflect. And I actually created a collection in Wakelet so that they could go to Wakelet and they could reflect on the videos. And then I have all of their reflections in one place. So this is another way to have them engaging in their learning, okay? Nothing is here because I haven't actually given this assignment yet. And then it goes on, there's some reading, there's some responding, there's some engagement so that they can actually create something. So I have them engaging with their social media accounts. I have them doing some Google searching. I have them deep diving and creating. And that ultimately is going to be our call to action. I'm skipping ahead, Anna, because I want them to see that our call to action is your students are craving the ability to, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing since it's 2:00. Your students are craving the ability to collaborate with each other. Your students are craving the ability to create something and share it and really engage with their learning. So our call to action really for all of you is let them collaborate. Don't be afraid to let them collaborate. Let them practice it with you as you're guiding and modeling for them so it becomes second nature to them as they go out into the world. I have so many things to share with you, but Callum is going to share our resource Wakelet. Anna and I put together for you every single thing that we discussed, including some things that I actually did not talk about yet. You'll see an Austin, Texas collection in there, which my idea was if you have your students doing a travel project, you can have them create their travel project in Wakelet and tell you what stops they're making, what mode of transportation they're taking, how much is it going to cost. You can bring in so many different pieces to that project. I created one for Austin, Texas, simply because Wakelet was coming to Austin and I wanted them to know the things they could do. I just want to end and say students can lead if you give them the opportunity. And remember, when you're teaching and when you're learning, there is a way, not the way. There are many ways for them to get to the end of those learning goals. And Anna and I really, really just want you to hear our hearts on that. Be open to letting your students collaborate and create with you.
You will see that's a wonderful thing. Yeah, it's going to be like real magic. Yeah,
it will
be. Inspire your students.
Yes. Callum,
give them a chance.
Questions? Do we have any questions? You know I get sidetracked by the chat.
Yeah, it's difficult to keep up with the chat. There's so many things going on. I think there is a few questions, and we do pro Surfer webinars every week once Community Week is over. So we do go over anything here that you might not have caught if we was going through things too quickly for you. So you can join one of those pro Surfer webinars, and we'll share them. We always share them on Twitter and through emails. And this session has also been recorded, so it will be sent to you in around about an hour after this session is finished for you all to look at again in the future. So yeah, in an hour, we'll send you the recording of this session, and we also send a certificate of attendance for everybody to check out as well. So that you can just prove that you've attended the session, and you can use that again in the future to share to any of your colleagues or whoever that might be. But yeah, thanks so much for attending this webinar. We've had a crazy amount of people here all around the world, which is global. And just sort of tying in with what Tisha just said about there is a way, but it's not the way, if I said that correctly.
Yeah.
Tish and Deb have said a few things and showed a few examples, but this is not the only way that you can use Wakelet with collaboration. There's so many ways that all of you creative people can come up with. And we say this at Wakelet because we've seen many amazing ways that a Wakelet is being used that we could never have imagined. So we always say that sort of you're limited by your imagination of what you can do on your on Wakelet. So yeah, this will be recorded and you can watch it all again and maybe digest and take notes at a slower pace. But yeah, thanks so much for joining this session. We do have lots more sessions going on throughout the week. So for those of you that don't know, Community Week runs until Friday, and we've had 3 sessions today. We have 3 or 4 sessions every single day. So I'll just share that link really quickly in the chat as well, just so everybody can check that out and check out any sessions that they might not have seen yet. So let me just share that real quick in the chat.
Anna, they want you to share your Wakelet profile.
Okay, I'll do it again. Okay, in a sec. Just want to share it.
Sorry, Callum.
Thanks a lot for requesting.
And we know this is a super difficult time for lots of different things that are going on in the world. So we just really want to say we're doing this whole Community Week just to build those bridges and bring people from around the world together. And we want to show that there's more that brings us together than divides us. So hopefully this collaboration session has sort of shown that. And please let us know if you would want to sort of collaborate with more people and anything you'd like to see us do in the future just to make everybody feel more as part of a community and work together. But any more things from you and Tish and Anna?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you all for joining. I know that you guys are busy people, and we just want to say thank you so much for attending. Reach out to Anna and I both on Twitter. You can reach out to us, and we want to help you in any way that we can. I'm willing to do Zooms with you individually if you would like that. I want to empower you, and that's really the goal, like Callum said.
You empowered me 100% from the very first meeting. I was just, whoa.
Thank you, Callum, for having me
amazing. Yeah, thank you a lot. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, thanks so much, everybody. I'm sorry that I couldn't show my face. I think my Zoom would have crashed if my face was on here. But yeah, we'll leave the chat open for about another 5-10 minutes. So feel free to sort of scroll up and sort of gain any of the links that have been shared. Again, I will share the links to the resources that Anna and Tish have put together, just so you can see them again. But yeah, ask any other questions for the next 5 minutes. And I'll also share, if you can both share your profiles, just once again, the links to your profiles. I'll also share my Twitter account and my email address if there's any questions that couldn't be answered right now. And yeah, stay tuned for all the features. We announced lots of features during Wakelet Live yesterday, and a lot of them are to do with collaboration and sort of supercharging that. So definitely stay tuned to see all of those updates come in as well.
Bye.
Okay, everyone. Thanks so much for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.